This is a Kiss original on 101.9 Kiss FM. The geekdom is spreading. It is present at almost every turn. And it's only a matter of time before it comes for you.
Nothing in our solar system can help us.
Let the Geek Patrol be your guide as you delve into the worlds of science, gaming, and pop culture. This is Geek Tank Radio.
Welcome, everyone. We are the Geek Patrol, and our microphones don't have a stun setting. This season of Geek Tank Radio is brought to you by the Vic Mignogna Public Image Consulting Firm.
Yes!
And you scored this account, right?
Dude. I wish... My biggest thing is I wish Vic could actually use them.
Well, is it like do as we say, not as we do, that type of advice? Or
no, I think after all that he's gone through recently, this was inspired by him, and he's not really a sponsor yet.
Okay, this is a test marketing.
We're going to be taking his money. He just doesn't know it yet.
Well, everybody else is going to be taking his money anyway, because no, what he did was he hired an incompetent lawyer as opposed to hiring us as incompetent public relations officers.
Yeah. I think it still needs a little polishing, but that's who we got. Hey, you got to pay the bills around here, you guys. Come on.
Yeah, I'm
catch them, cheat them, and howl.
Well,
all right.
You know that you've screwed the pooch when the judge, instead of just going ahead and saying, all right, I'm dismissing all these charges, he goes, why don't y'all go into mediation and see if you can save yourself, sir.
Yeah, before you hang yourself. So anyway, welcome to Geek Tank Radio. Yeah, I think we'll be following this firm's career with great interest. But,
sure, we'll watch them polish turds all day.
Oh yeah. Well, Alan, one thing. This is I would say this is going to be a highly relevant season of Geek Tank Radio, more so even than usual. But Alan, you're talking about asteroid target practice that could actually save the Earth, right?
Well, we'll talk about it.
Okay. And we're all watching with bated breath this raid on Area 51. This is the weekend. Oh man, I can't wait. This is going to be good.
I have to say, after talking about aliens stop pulling out, and then seeing the pictures from the people who are actually still going to Rachel and the stages they're building and everything, I'm thinking alien stock may have screwed up.
Yeah, they shouldn't have left town. They should have stayed there.
They were going to be the successful Fire Fest.
But no, instead they pulled out and went and did an EDM concert last night that... Has anybody heard anything about it?
Nobody went.
Nobody went.
I'll show you the pictures. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, and so we got that. We've got some musical news. I don't know if it's news or it's analyzation or whatever.
We dive a little nostalgic because we had a fun doing that last week
with the video games.
But yeah, we're going to talk about the music that touched our souls.
Okay, cool.
That sounds romantic.
Well, and in random, we're going to have something that touched somebody's stomach in a bad way, and among other things. So, but we've got it all coming at you next time.
I also got a clip for you, locked and loaded.
Oh, hey now.
All right, take two, and it's all coming at you next on Geek Tank Radio.
Geek Tank Radio. More below and on 1019kissfm.com. Keyword Geek Tank. No matter what nefarious plan he has cooked up, Alan always keeps it educational. Get banished to Professor Gilbreth's Science Corner.
Now go.
Do I have a record button?
Yeah, you're recording.
Yeah, all right. Welcome to science. Hey, Brody.
Yes.
You ever had a dog sneak under your fence?
I had dogs jump over my fence, and this is my dog. Go under this fence, go through the fence.
Yep.
Brody, I'm proud of you for not making a double entendre out of that.
So,
that's pretty good,
what happens?
And I penetrated the fence many times.
Okay. So, what happens when you miss a whole asteroid?
You're just doing this on purpose.
You stepping
I swung a stick.
All right.
Sometimes you swing and miss.
Yeah. You're
welcome to NASA 2019 SC. We're gonna go to outer space for a real quick.
No, I shake my head at NASA right now.
Oh my gosh! Pick this guy up. We just noticed him like 2 weeks ago. He's here.
No,
an asteroid.
He's here on a flyby.
How do you miss something that big?
Well,
I mean, they're looking at a lot of stuff, Brody. I mean, they're looking at exoplanets.
Right here.
Well, how many telescopes can we focus everywhere?
Brody, stop pointing at your crotch.
Yeah. Okay. So there's an asteroid coming in, Alan.
well, it is now classified as a NEO or near Earth object. We just kind of looked up and went. It's kind of like looking in the backyard and going, "Where in the heck did that dog come from?"
Yeah.
Because suddenly there it was.
I think this is hilarious because that's how I got my dog George.
Yeah. He just showed up.
He's like in the backyard one day and it's like, oh
God.
hi, how you doing?
So happily, it's not that big. It's not going to be all that close, but it is the thought that, hey, this thing just showed up. Yeah, kind of an interesting thing, which brings up, I'm going to slingshot over to our dear buddies across the pond at the Daily Express, because NASA and the European Space Agency are now trying to get together and do a little target practice.
Yes.
Well, it's about time.
This is what I'm excited
called
about,
for
guys.
this for years
Yes.
here on
No,
Geek Tank.
Bruce Willis and Aerosmith have prepared us for this moment.
No, that's
Luthor.
when you send somebody up with the nuke.
Yeah.
Deep Impact's the one they shot the nuke at it, right?
Right.
Is that right?
I think so.
I don't know. They all run together.
Deep Impact had a bad ending, and the only thing good about that movie was Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well-
but they're doing it.
Well, they have
long as
revealed
they don't fire a nuke
that there
into
is an
a
asteroid
hurricane, good.
redirection test.
Wait, there's a acronym for that.
Yes, there's ART.
DART. No, it's DART. Directional what is it? You
Well,
just
they're
said it.
Directional
redirectional,
asteroid
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Because the
actually-
article I read was full of acronyms. They were having a lot of fun with those.
It has now been renamed AIDA,
BFD.
which is the Asteroid Impact and Deflection Assessment.
There you go.
I don't like that one at all.
Yeah, I like ART or DART.
Yeah. I like dart. Throw a dart at it. That's
yeah.
cool.
So here's
Well,
what
they had
they're
the federal
planning to
asteroid
do.
something that came out to FART.
They're looking to send a Earth craft to a set of asteroids that will be near Earth objects, and we're gonna bounce one of them and see what happens.
Okay, but Alan, wait. Back up a second.
As I just heard the Brody's brakes screech to a halt.
Don't we have a problem with space crap surrounding Earth? Like, we basically have a ring made out of space crap.
Yeah, but that's our protection shield.
Well, we're
Okay.
trying to recreate
Okay.
Saturn's rings, Brody. That's the idea.
We're getting
trying-
ring envy, so we decided to throw up a whole bunch of trash up there, right? I mean,
Right.
Well, I mean, it worked for our oceans so well.
well, yeah,
Right.
yeah. Now we got plastic and shit.
Yeah, but I think they're gonna hit these asteroids further out. They're
Okay,
not
so-
gonna wait till they get to orbit. or
Okay, but
anything.
that's where I'm getting at. So we launch like a giant magnet. And Alan, I don't know if this is possible. We launch a giant magnet to collect a whole bunch of that.
It says Acme on the side.
Right. and we paint a giant tunnel where the asteroid is to see if it goes through it.
Well, that's
It's
not,
the damn Roadrunner we got to
Wiley
look out for.
Scott.
Gosh,
Looney Tunes science. I love it.
Well, that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about chunking a
yeah.
metal tin can
I think
at
this-
a giant rock.
Well, what
all
we're
about
actually
this.
going to look at
Yeah.
is well, I was like, I hesitate to say the name of the asteroid now.
Yeah.
But Didymos
There you go.
is.
Did I seem to tell you?
There we go. It
was
is
a-
a binary asteroid, aka it's twins.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about doing is, since we know
Twins
where
are
one
scary.
of them are going, we know where one of them is. What happens if we bounce the other one? This is kind of an important experiment because we'd like to know if this works before we need to find out.
Oh my god.
Any number of movies starring Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Alan,
We'd like to know if we can do this or
So
not.
my question is, a while back, we saw the giant blunt
the
asteroid.
thing from the other galaxy that came flying
and it
through
was like
here.
a shard of planetoid or whatever.
something, right.
that was a spacecraft. They're
Right.
just pretending.
We
it's
all
not.
think it's a spacecraft.
We're all
but-
pretty much going, yes, they're neighbors.
Well, and there's
Yeah.
another one. There's another one that has a weird. It doesn't have a slingshot trajectory. It's got like this straight line linear propulsion trajectory, right? And that's going to be closer to us in December, I believe it.
Correct.
Well, my thought is this.
Well, you've been paying attention. I am so impressed.
Oh yeah, man, I'm all about this
Brody's
because
up on this.
there is something. The aliens have technology to like propel rocks.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and that's pretty cool. But anyway, this twin Dioxys, I
Didymus.
just called it a Pokemon.
Wait, Didymos.
Yeah, it's Dioxys. Yeah, it's like
Didymos is a binary. So it's two.
Iditarod is coming at us,
yes, right.
And it's a twin, right? So we're gonna bounce one off of one twin. And if you've ever messed with twins, you know that if you mess with one, the other one gets pissed off.
Yeah.
And like gets all carry on you.
Would that be Dottymus?
Yeah, that would be Dottymus. Yeah.
Yeah, they fight, and then when you mess with
Didymus
their
and
fight,
Dottymus,
they
they
team
just-
up
Yeah, they
against you.
team up and like they have psychic powers and like your head
Right.
explodes.
That just sounds like the names of Daft Punk's, rivals.
Right.
Alan, I got a question though. These
Only one? I'm ready.
These asteroids, the smaller one circles the other one, right? That's what it
Correct.
orbits around it every
Correct.
so many days. So
Back to Looney Tunes, all of a sudden I see the big dog walking down the street and the little dog bouncing around it.
Yeah.
that's it. That's what it is. So they're trying to see if they hit one, does it disrupt the other's orbit, or are they hitting the one in the center, or are they hitting the orbiting one?
Well, right
or does
now
it
they're
matter?
still crunching the numbers, and they're actually using a lot of data that the dear Japanese Space Agency got when they landed on the asteroid.
Doesn't matter which
Long
one they
ago.
aim for, they're going to screw up and hit the wrong one.
Yeah, right. The one that gets the most pissed.
The one.
Wait, JSA.
I'm gonna-
Is that a Justice?
The Justice Society of America.
Yeah,
Who
so
just
the
returned to
Japanese,
comics.
the Japanese space agency. So they have
You know
the
what's
same-
funny about
okay.
this?
What?
I equivalent this to we're gonna shoot a spitball at the teacher's desk, and just really piss it off, man.
You think this is going to make?
We're
it
headed
work?
for detention.
This is
Why aren't they launching a nuke?
This is what happens when you throw the dodgeball at the really big kid first.
He's got the orbiting little kid that's circling around to collect the ball to shoot more crap at you.
Alan, this seems to me this would be one useful thing for a nuclear bomb. This is the one time it would be a good
Well,
thing, right?
maybe
Just
it is, and
blast
maybe it isn't. We're not sure yet. This
Now's
is
the time to test it,
So
right?
that's what you do. You shoot the nuke.
Right.
You hit the big one. The little one, his trajectory goes right through all that radiation and comes flying right back at us.
So it's
the
been radiated and it heads in.
Right.
Okay,
Hey,
yeah.
I was wondering what causes all those superpowers in Raising Dion. Now I know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Makes perfect sense.
this is why you now have
We done effed up.
that's why all the angry birds have powers.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Alan, is this test imminent, or is this just a bunch
Oh
of
no.
eggheads talking
They're
about it
not
right
even
now?
launching this until 2021. So
Not that
2 years,
far
that's
away.
not even
I mean,
2 years away.
you
It's a
gotta
year and
build this-
change away.
it's got a little time.
We still got a bunch of months under our regime. We may not be there here.
Hey, Alan, I got a question because we've
I knew it was
talked.
more gonna be more than one.
Well, no, but how you've talked about how we're heading into the dirty part of the galaxy with all the meteors and the rock. Well, how far into this dirt are we now? Like, how long
are we close to getting out?
Nope. Yeah, when do we
We're
get?
just not getting in.
Is this like a 100-year cycle, or is this a 5-year cycle, or is this how long are we going to be in this
we're
neighborhood?
going to be here for a while.
Oh, jeez.
All right, Joe, you and I will not see the far side of this.
Oh,
We have plenty.
So
we have plenty of opportunities.
long-term.
Andy might see the far side of
No.
this, but the rest of us, no, not so much.
He's going to be smart and he's going to get out before it happens.
Okay, gother. All right.
We have plenty of opportunity to shoot crap with nukes.
Well, this is something we better get a handle on then, because
Well,
we
and
could
again-
be dealing with this every other year, man.
Well, and again, like we said, we just had NASA 2019 SC. We just found it on the 6th. It's
know.
flying by literally
It's
tonight.
almost past us, and we're like, oh god, there it is.
yeah, we're gonna
It's
need
kinda like,
some.
and oh goodness, there it
look.
goes.
Are we going to be able to see this?
Probably not.
You don't
It's
want to
probably
see
Russia.
this, bro.
No,
that means it's too
I want
close.
to see it.
I mean,
I'm sure that there will be a high-powered telescope aimed towards it because
Yeah.
I'm
They'll put
sure
a
we
GoPro
can.
on it.
I'm sure we can contact a few of our telescope enhanced friends.
Does
There you
it
go.
have anything? Does this thing have anything
TEF.
cool with it? Namely, like gold or alcohol.
Texas
or,
tea.
Well, now welcome.
Oh my God! Could you imagine
Oh,
if
you
one of
wanna
these things had
harvest
oil?
this thing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
it
well,
tastes close.
Dude, if it's covered in oil and that nuke hits it,
But there's no oxygen. It doesn't matter.
It will as it falls to Earth.
Well, it'll be all sticky.
Haven't you seen Star Wars, Alan? You can have a fire in space. I mean,
Hey.
Oh, goodness.
Shut up, Joe.
Joe's
And you can have jet engine sounds in outer space, too.
Until we actually attempt something like this, because nobody's done it before,
Right.
we don't know.
Oh, that's true.
yeah.
Well, and this does tie into earlier stories where we talked about space mining degrees and stuff like that. Can we get to the asteroids?
Yeah.
Can we redirect them? Can we control them? Can we utilize them?
There you go.
Because,
I'm going to pull a joke. Can we poop in them?
Well, weaponized, exactly.
Where are you going to poop on them?
I want to poop on it.
Yeah.
if you land there, you can.
Slap my throne on there.
Alrighty. I think at this point, it's time to go visit.
Speaking of the hills.
Speaking of the hills, I think the hills are alive with the sound of gaming.
Hey-o.
Geek Tank Radio energized by
Dark Oak Press and Media, an indie publisher and media provider offering everything from Alice in Memphis to mystery to young adult and everything in between. Get the latest at darkoakpress.com.
More Below and on 1019kissfm.com. Keyword Geek Tank. Gadgets,
Gizmos?
games.
Oh my.
These guys got their hands on it in the tank. Geek Tank Radio is on.
Okay, guys, so we're having a little bit of a fun musical event
Right.
today.
We started with the nostalgia last week. And
Yes.
Started-
Oh, yeah. That was fun.
So
it was kind of fun.
I
A lot
felt,
of fun.
yeah, I felt like it might be a little bit more fun today to do.
Let's keep stepping on his intro.
To do. God.
Go ahead, Andy.
To
I warned you.
And we're
I warned
professionals.
you.
we're professionals.
We are so sugar rushed right now.
I wanted to do something a little bit more in the vein of the nostalgia. Kind
Yeah.
of talk about some of our favorite gaming music.
Which is
beautiful.
actually a really good thing because, honestly, you look at the state of the gaming industry today and it all sucks.
Well, most of it
all
except,
sucks.
except for there's some really good soundtracks coming out of the gaming world right now.
That's right.
We're talking about the rest of it, though.
Well, we have some really good composers orchestrating the music behind it, and it's turning the games into works of brilliance. Now, I think we should draw some lines here, gentlemen.
Okay.
Okay, and the line is Mario's off limits. Just because,
Classic.
yeah.
It's Mario.
You can't-
It would automatically win.
We all know it.
Yeah, that 8-bit goodness.
Yeah.
And any...
That and the fact that more than likely, Brody or Andy one probably put that bed at the beginning of this episode anyway.
No, I didn't.
I might.
Andy might.
Vow not to. Vow it now.
No, I'm probably gonna put mine.
Damn it. All right. Well, in any event, okay. So who wants us to kick this off?
Oh,
I'll
gonna
throw
go.
out a fact.
Okay.
I'll
no.
throw out a fact.
Oh no.
Just a few years ago, at the peak of its popularity, a certain video game was being played almost 1 billion times a day, which means the music was being played almost 1 billion
It's got to
times
be
a day.
some mobile game.
It's Angry Birds.
Yeah.
No, we all turn the music off on Angry Birds.
I really do. I hate the mobile game.
Yeah, I turned the
The mobile
I turned
game
the
music,
off.
I think, is quintessentially the worst of gaming.
The only time to turn on mobile game music is if you're a Pokemon Go guy during Halloween and you get that fear stuff in the at night. I can't remember what the name of the city that the song comes from, but it's creepyish.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but I think all mobile games, even like Pokemon, over and over, it's so droning.
That sounds like someone who has a kid who doesn't turn off the sound.
No, it turns it up.
No, there you go.
Max volume. But
Hey,
I can't hear it.
That's why
That's why you give him
a
headphones.
certain
Oh no, we bought him headphones.
a certain infantile aquatic critter is so popular.
Yeah. Dude, it's got a cereal, man. I saw him at Sam's. It's like, and it's hard to believe that that's a 4-year-old song now.
I know. Anyway, okay, so let's get into this.
Okay.
What, Brandon, you want to kick us
I'm
off?
going to kick you off with one of my favorite, musical numbers from any video game.
Okay.
Came out of Super Castlevania 4.
Ooh.
That's the cave music.
Okay.
All right,
trying to
all right,
think of
all
the
right.
cave music.
So it is seriously serene and calm, and it echoes, and you can hear the water dropping. And this is from a Super
remember.
Nintendo game.
Yeah.
I
right.
have this on a playlist to this day.
16-bit sound.
It was just like, just no video game music has ever taken me into the location like that.
Right.
And I mean, I love my modern day games, but it's just
It's so good.
yeah. I can hear just the beginning of that, and I know exactly what's going on. And I get hit by a bat.
Andy, we're going to end it with you, buddy, because I've got a couple. And I was going to go with Assassin's Creed.
Of course.
All right.
Because the theme from Assassin's Creed, Ezio's theme from Assassin's Creed is like iconic piece of gaming
and I
music.
think it's only because, like, I mean, we had Ezio for, like, what, 5 games?
3 games.
3 games? Whatever. Forever?
Yeah.
You know? But his theme has carried on to now, because it's even in Origins.
Yeah.
That's cool, but I think for me, and I'm not an Xbox player, and so I'm going to get a lot of hell from this, but I think the Halo theme,
yes,
the metal Halo theme,
yes, dude,
there is nothing.
I love that version.
There is nothing on the planet. I mean, yeah, sure, when you start up,
like when you get
that's fine.
Did you have to sound like a dying elephant?
To me, that's what it sounds like. Because my brother and I would make fun of it.
To me, that's what all the Halo music sounds like. And I was
sounds like Patrick trying to sing.
And I was a player.
Yeah. So
again, that's another one you mute and you turn on your own soundtrack.
Right. But normally, yes. And that's what I do with a lot of games.
I completely disagree with you. I love the track from Halo.
But when that metal one
yeah,
kicks
but
in,
we
you're
also
like,
know your musical.
You're like, yes, I'm about to kick some ass.
And it's like I also know your musical taste, and other than your own music, I don't agree with any of it.
That's fair.
That's fair. But Halo, I mean, it's iconic at this point. There's that droning guitar, right? And you still have the operatic, and you have the strings. It's very
with
almost
the underlying military tattoo going on.
Oh yeah! Oh no! Oh yeah! You have like a John Williams score.
Oh yeah!
Mixed with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Oh yeah!
Riff going on. It is very amalgamation.
There's almost nothing in gaming that pumps your adrenaline more than that metal version of the Halo theme.
Its great grandfather was that little guys coming down, Space Invaders.
Oh yeah,
the closer they got, the tighter the sound got. The more intense,
and the faster they moved on the screen.
It just
it plumps your blood. And
that was like what 2-bit music back then.
And here's the bottom line: it's often imitated. Because now you hear it in, I think it was Metal Gear Solid, had like this almost theatrical like theme going through it, and it felt very Halo at that point. And it was only until later, after Halo, that I guess you noticed it. I'm not saying they tried.
I want to know where your time machine is, Brody.
Yeah.
Well, but no, what I'm saying is like when Halo came out in like 2001-ish.
Mm-hmm. The very first one.
Yeah. And then you had the operatic. Halo 2, you got the metal version.
Halo 2 was the metal version, yeah.
Right. And Metal Gear Solid came out in 2001-ish.
The original Metal Gear Solid?
Well, that came out in like...
Yeah, I was going to say, that was in the 90s. It was on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Which all it was an updated version of the Metal Gear song from NES game.
Yeah, right. The NES games.
But what I'm saying is like...
It's very much the precursor and the underscore backbeat of Halo.
Right.
But you don't notice.
I still think it's garbage.
You didn't notice it until Halo came out, and you were like, "Oh shit, stuff." That's
no, you didn't.
But it called attention to it because I think the theme in Halo was so strong.
Yes, I have a lot of different ones that I've.
Well, that's all we need for this Geek Tech Gaming. It's like
I have a lot of different ones I've fallen in love with over the years.
Yeah.
I have a lot of game soundtracks that are on my phone.
This is going to give me hate mail. That's because you fall in love with songs the same way high school girls get engaged to high school boys.
Oh.
Promise Ring?
Every couple months, you got a new one.
It's true.
In all fairness, I did get. I've been engaged with a lot.
But I've had One Winged Angel from Final Fantasy VII. There's how did
I know you were going to pick a Final Fantasy song?
No. That's just one of them. There's
what's your
a
fave?
track.
You have to pick one. Sophie's
I know
choice
I have to pick one. Give me a minute. I'm getting there.
You're not giving out a check. You don't have to pick just one, Brody.
Yes. Left or right Twix here.
I get a bag of both, and I say, F you, man.
Yeah.
Andy's going to give us a playlist that we can then
You're the
download.
person who bites the Kit Kat as a whole.
No, God, no. That's disturbing.
Monster.
Yeah.
But no, what we're doing right here...
What I want to know is who was the person who cut out the center circle and still had an entire bar.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I don't know what that has to do with his music.
Anyway.
What he's going to do is he's going to create a Spotify list that we can then put on the website.
Yeah.
Anyway, go for it.
So, One Winged Angel from Final Fantasy VII was probably the first like piece of gaming music that wasn't like an icon. It wasn't Mario or Zelda or something like that I really remembered. There's a track from Dragon Age Inquisition called Journey to Skyhold. That is so like
the only thing good about Dragon Age is the music.
No, that one is really good. Dragon Age 2 is garbage. It's very like epic because the game is epic fantasy. It just has this great like Lord of the Rings type feel to it.
Right.
Most of the soundtrack from Mass Effect 3 I have on my phone.
I can see that.
Done by Clint Mansell, the guy who did the soundtrack from Requiem for a Dream.
Right.
But the one that sticks with me most recently is God of War.
Yeah.
The theme.
Dude, I almost picked God of War too, man.
Bear McCreary's theme from God of War.
He's actually beaming. Y'all can't see this, but he's actually beaming.
He's right.
First off, the composer's there's two.
Yeah.
There's the Kratos' theme from God of War,
right?
From the new one, from Bear McCreary,
right?
And then the opening theme, the Dragonborn song from Skyrim.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you that one. Just pretty
much
everything in the Skyrim one.
Pretty much everything in Skyrim could just be like. That's just an epic fantasy movie. You could make a movie out of it. Like the soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah.
But Kratos' theme from the new God of War, like I watched because you remember we were watching Raising Kratos, and Bear McCreary was talking about how he was coming up with this theme and like what he wanted it to be, and
it's minimalist.
And he was saying, it's very minimalist because Kratos is a very minimalist character in that sense, where he's just like, no, I'm going to do my thing, and if you get in the way of me trying to do my thing, I will break you.
Right. Yeah, it's very minimalist thinking.
Yeah,
like, I do me. Period.
And like him just sitting at the keyboard and just going like, I just came up with this like dun 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 like, yeah. But then when they played it in the different ways, like the scene when he goes into spoilers, the scene when he goes back into the cabin to retrieve.
Played it by now. It's 2 years old.
The scene where he goes back into the cabin to retrieve the blades.
Right.
And it's doing the theme, but it's doing it so softly.
Yeah.
And like it adds so much more to that sequence.
But okay, watch a horror movie on mute. It doesn't have the same effect because of the soundtrack, right?
It's funny that you bring that up actually, because Bear McCreary also did the soundtrack for the new Chucky movie.
Oh, interesting.
It's not really something he should brag about.
That's not his fault that it was terrible, but
no, it's a damn good movie, but the music doesn't stand out.
Well, okay,
what stands out about that movie is not the music, so it's not the score or anything like that. It's the sound effects.
Oh,
because it'll creep you the F out.
Well, okay, so I think that's
but
another
are the sound
point.
Effects part of the musical score?
That's what I think I want to emphasize here, though, is that sometimes you have those games.
Yeah.
And I would say Skyrim, even though the Dragonborn theme is good.
Yeah.
But if outside of the Dragonborn, like if you just listen to the Dragonborn theme, you automatically think of the gameplay with it. And I think that is what makes that so good, because you have to have one without the other. It's like eating a Reese's.
Like as soon as you hear the Dragonborn theme, like you think of like, oh, I got to fight a dragon now.
Right.
Because that's what always happens when the dragon shows up.
Exactly.
The theme starts.
Like it'd be like eating a Reese's, but only eating the chocolate off of it. It's not a Reese's, it's just chocolate.
I knew a guy who did that.
That's monstrous effect. Okay?
It was disturbing because he'd leave like little mounds of peanut butter.
And it looks like little dookies everywhere, So, but again, you're left with a little pile of dookie if you just, if you either play that game on mute or you only listen to the soundtrack and don't play the game. I think that's what you're missing out on.
Well, I have to disagree with you because, and I mean, this happens with most of your Bear McCreary stuff. You can listen to it and have never played the game, but you immediately feel like you've been taken somewhere epic.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true.
For me, that happens with Mortal Kombat. I can't listen to that theme and not play the game because it's lacking in something.
Which is hilarious because that theme is almost never in the game.
Yeah.
I know, but
you hear the opening music, your hands begin twitching.
yeah.
No.
And you're like, I gotta play the game.
Which there's another thing is there's music we associate with games that
has nothing to do
have
with
never
the
been
game.
in the game.
Right.
None of the Mortal Kombat games actually utilize that theme. Commercials, movies, TV shows, various other promotional stuff uses that music, but the games themselves don't.
I was gonna say the remix version that they did of that theme for MK11 was dope,
It's super dope
but it's not in the game.
anywhere.
Right.
Unless all of a sudden a DLC comes out like, next week when we get the Terminator and it's like, oh, by the way, since
here's that song that
a couple
everybody's
jackasses were talking about how we never use this on the radio.
Well, I'm going to go
It's
back.
happened before. Okay, it has happened before.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to set the
still talking about
Wayback
our war with Kevin
Machine
Smith?
Yeah.
and pre-game and go back to the soundtrack to Conan, which is pretty much the most, I'm going to have to say, emulated music.
Yeah.
And the Conan was a derivative. Everything in Conan was a derivative. But if you watch the movie and then you hear the music years later, you still see the scene. Whether the movie was good or not is debatable.
Right.
But it was a Dina De Laurentiis back in the 80s.
Yeah.
What do you
by
want?
the way, we didn't include any of the movie tie-in games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that
Because these were
that's
all
cheating.
Yeah.
in the 80s we were just now discovering we could put decent music with the games
video
and the games
Yeah.
and the blurred lines were beginning
Right.
as we moved into better technology, especially when you got to Final
Many
Fantasy.
versions of the Star Wars theme.
Right.
And
Yeah, I was about to say, it's not like I
many
could jump into
different
Super
versions.
Star Wars and go like, no, this counts, or like Jurassic Park or
Right.
something, and be like, oh, it's the game version of Jurassic Park, and you still get John Williams. Like
Right.
that? No, that's not fair.
Yeah, it's not fair.
Yeah.
So there's a blur here, but I'm going to step it up and go. Let's talk about WoW for a minute.
Call the Conqueror.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
No, we have a ban on that.
We have, not when it comes to music.
We
not when
do
it comes
not
to music.
promote drugs on the show.
When your music to your game is so good that the music CDs to your game
I think that was just
outsell
people
pop
trying to get
music.
their fix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was just people getting their fix.
But actually, if you want to go there,
when your game music becomes pop
Diablo
music.
outsold
Yes.
WoW,
Diablo.
WoW
Yeah.
constantly when
Yes.
it came to game music.
Yes.
Yeah. Diablo's music is awesome.
music is amazing. And
Diablo's music was singles.
what's really messed up is that if
Yeah.
you play Diablo's music at a club, people will get hyped, but they'll never realize it was a video game music.
right? And I think
They'll just think it's something that the DJ mixed.
well, look
Oh,
at
yeah.
Danny Elfman. Danny
Yes.
Elfman now composing for video games, and he's like, "This is way more intense than anything I've ever done for a movie." Because it's intense. You don't know what to expect. You're not scoring, and this is to steal what a couple composers have said about video games. You're no longer composing to time card.
No.
Okay, because there's a lot of guys who compose to time card.
Well, I was like, we were talking about John Williams before,
Right.
like off the air. He composes to films with a stopwatch.
Right.
Well, literally, this fight scene. I mean, when you start talking about a movie, you start talking about 45 seconds.
Right.
15 seconds. This particular scene is going to be 1 minute and 3 seconds
Right,
long.
exactly.
And then we're cutting. So I've got to have.
But with the video game, they're able to kind of expound all of this, and so now those Elfman runs.
Well, you can also, but you can also throw in some connecting loops in
Right.
your music so that you can loop segment A to segment B to segment C.
Because your
almost
fight sequence for one
infinitely
player
because
your fight sequence for one player might last 30 seconds. For another player, it might be 2 minutes.
Right. Or, okay, I think of the Link. There's like 15 seconds of the Link soundtrack where it's epic. but it's only like 15 seconds long. If I could put that on loop, I think it. You know what I'm talking about? It's not Ocarina of Time. It's this is the new Link game.
Breath of the Wild.
From Breath of the Wild?
I was going to say, you only
You mean Zelda?
Yeah.
Zelda, that's what I
I was going to say,
Brody's the only person who has ever gotten that backwards.
Exactly.
Most people are like, "Oh, it's a Zelda game, right? You know what to do with the blonde hair and the green
Yeah,
cap."
you
You're like,
know,
"No, that's Link." Brody is the only person who has ever gotten that backwards.
in history.
Yeah, in history.
Jeez, man.
Wait, you're the dude with the.
See, no, I'm the princess. Andy's jumping your crap about that, and meanwhile, I'm sitting there going, "You only found 15 seconds of epicness in the Breath of the Wild soundtrack."
Come on,
Dude,
man.
It's good. It's good, but there's only like 15. There's that big orchestral like overture that it crescendos into it, and then it's gone.
All it proves to me, Brody, is that you have not explored that world.
Yeah, you haven't explored
enough.
Breath of the Wild very much.
I mean, I'm not going 100%. I'm a PlayStation kid, man, and I chose an Xbox game. Give me that.
Oh no, we're not saying that you're wrong. We just say you haven't experienced enough.
Enough. Okay, I will.
No.
I no.
There's a whole world open to you. It's
Oh,
Hey.
No.
Speaking of which, have you heard the music from the remastered Aladdin?
No.
It's pretty good.
It's amazing for
way better than the original. I'll give you that much.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they actually sing on tune.
We're talking about the video game.
That too.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the movies.
Oh, them too. Anyway, speaking of them too, we got something else going on. I'm trying to see the cheat sheet.
That may have been the worst segue in history.
I'm trying to see what's going on, Brandon.
It's right there, Brody.
I can't see that.
Stream Wars.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about those. We've talked about them.
We've played them.
And now we'll show you.
The all-new Twitch channel from Geek Tank Radio is here,
Ready Player Geek.
where we unpack and dive into single-player, story-driven games, to fighters, to multiplayer shooters, to tabletop and card games, and everything in between.
And stay up to date with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Ready Player Geek.
Check us out now at twitch.tv/ReadyPlayerGeek.
Streaming every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday night at 8 Central.
That euphoric feeling when you found just the right binge? Let the Geek Patrol be your stream dealer as they help you find your net fix.
Oh, it is upon us. We thought it was bad before. Now we reminisce about the days of when it was
I'm gonna
just
be getting out my pirate's hat.
Yeah, when it was just
I've got that in the
Netflix or
trunk.
Hulu. I miss those
streaming
days.
services.
Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. You can have all of them, and it wouldn't bother.
No, I mean the thing is now we actually have a Stream Wars on our hands.
Oh yeah.
Break
knew it
out
was
the
coming.
phasers and the
Yeah.
lasers, my friends, because now everybody's got their hat in the ring when it comes to a streaming
It's
service.
coming to the point where it's going to be cheaper to just get cable.
I know! And I'm thinking, okay, I could save money by dropping my cable and just getting 3 or 4 streaming services, namely Hulu, Netflix, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus. Like, that would suffice for me. But now, Peacock comes in and flutting its feathers and not playing nice and saying, no, I'm going to take my ball and go home.
And let's not talk. Forget Warner Brothers. They've got their Warner Media streaming,
Warner
which
Media streaming.
they just made the announcement. It drops 10 days before Disney Plus, and it's $2 cheaper.
Harken back, Joe, and I'm going to look at you. We're
going to look at you. We're staring at you.
When
So I have to have a comment.
When
Okay.
CBS All Access came out,
Yeah.
right? There was one thing on there that we were
Semi-interested in.
mildly interested in.
Yeah,
right?
before I knew better, Discovery.
Right. Okay.
Before you knew better.
Okay, before we knew better. But we were like, you know what? We'll try it out. All right.
That wasn't a huge commitment because you knew you could just watch it and cancel if you want, which is what I spent $5 to watch Discovery.
Which right now with your main streaming services, Netflix and Hulu, you can do that. You can cancel and pick up 2 months later, and as long as you haven't let an entire year lapse at Netflix, you get your grandfathered deal. Right. And Hulu doesn't even deal with grandfathered. You just go back into the
Right. You go back into your original price.
The only one you can't cancel right off the bat these days is Amazon because it's connected to your Amazon Prime account,
Right.
which is a yearly subscription. And who's going to give up the free 2-day delivery?
I mean, the thing
Amazon
is,
seems the safest of anybody because
Amazon's
you get other
the most bang for the
benefits
buck.
besides watching.
Right. Yeah, you get the most bang for the buck at Amazon.
Plus, it has that thing where you can add other channels onto it, like CBS All Access for $3.
Right.
Maybe Amazon's going to take over everything.
Well, and that's where I'm going with
Taking
this.
over everything else.
Yeah.
So, I think, Netflix has kind of aligned itself as being the new Paramount or the new...
For all intents and purposes, they are the new HBO.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Because HBO, remember, you had the really bad movies that ran all the time, but you had your original series.
Which were fantastic. I mean,
Oz,
Game of Thrones.
Deadwood, Carnival. I'm not... Screw the modern stuff. I'm talking about the old school stuff.
But even it goes back to the modern stuff, though, too, Brandon. I mean, Netflix has aligned itself as being one of the powerhouses. Hulu is right under them. If not, neck and neck, close second. Because
they're not creating as much original content, but they
Handmaid's
are
Tale.
good.
Handmaid's Tale, Harlots.
No, I know. I'm just
all
saying
the different Stephen King things they do.
Right.
Those are the only two we have, actually.
Yeah.
And so
Netflix
we go back and
Honestly,
forth between both of them.
And honestly, they are the two that it's almost... If you're going to do streaming, multiple streaming services, those are the two you really want.
And if you're a big sports fan, which I am, ESPN Plus is fantastic. I can literally watch every sporting event. I haven't missed a 901 FC game because I have ESPN Plus. So, enter in the cock.
Here comes the peacock. Here comes the peacock.
NBC Universal's new streaming service.
I watched the cock.
Yeah, you're doing
I was planning on getting...
just dance that razor's edge, don't you?
It doesn't work when you...
That is not an
introduce
FCC banned word.
It is not.
Okay.
It is not. It's a chicken or shortened version of the peacock.
Right.
Well, welcome to NBC.
Welcome to NBC.
And the way Brody struts, we can call him the cock, and it won't matter.
Right. So... The thing is NBC comes in and says, you know what? We're going to take all of our shows back because we're going to start a streaming service.
Not only we're going to take all of our shows back, but we are also going to tangentially take anything that remotely came close to belonging to us at one point, like Pretty Little Liars.
Right. Oh, yeah. All of our offshoot channels, too. We're taking all of it back, and you can only find it here on the Peacock.
And right now, they are spending so much money trying to get their stuff back under their umbrella. They're not even going to be able to afford to keep the streaming service going.
I was going to say, because if they're buying The Office for, how much did you say?
$500 million?
$500 million.
That doesn't include Parks and Rec.
No, that doesn't.
They're taking back Parks and Rec.
No, I know, but all the money they're going to have to spend.
And the thing is, they're not going to get to keep Seinfeld because Seinfeld just
signed up with Netflix.
What is it? As of 2021, it will be exclusive
on
with
Netflix.
Seinfeld holds up. It never gets old either.
Because NBC doesn't own Seinfeld. Larry David does.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you're going to start seeing a lot more from the writers is that they're going to take their shows back and they're going to shop them.
People who still hold rights to their shows are going to be pulling them from studios left and right and shopping them out to whoever gives them the best deal.
I think you're right. And
which is only going to lead to our prices on our streaming services going up.
Yep. And because all because NBC can't play nice.
Yeah.
And really, what is okay?
Well, I mean, you look at it. All right, Amazon, Netflix, Hulu. They have shows that they pass back and forth, basically. Like, let's say, just throwing it out there, A Different World. It was on Netflix for about 3 years. Now it's on Hulu. It'll be on Amazon, next, and it'll just bounce around to whoever
Parks
has
and Rec was on Hulu, and then it bounced over to Netflix.
Well, Parks and Rec, while it was new, was on both.
On both, yeah.
And now you can actually watch Parks and Rec on all three of your majors.
Right.
Hulu still has it in their archives. You can go to NBC's actual website and watch it.
Right.
You can watch it on Amazon. You can watch it on Netflix. Right now, the only people who aren't really, going to be hurting when all this is, Disney, because they're bringing you a bunch of all original programming. They're waiting for contracts. They're
Disney
waiting for
also
contracts.
has the bottom line to pull that off.
They're waiting on contracts to end before they pull things over.
You go.
But you've got Warner Media, who is also sharing their stuff with Hulu and Netflix until contracts are up, and then they probably will come home. But NBC is not playing that way, and that's not even bringing into the idea that Apple TV is free.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. So now you have other streaming services that are playing more like, you know what? We're just going to be a provider.
Yeah. Apple's like, we got a bunch of money. We're going to get stuff, and we're going to show it to you, and then we're going to make our own new stuff like C, which looks strangely decent.
But
And
Joe,
there's a Jason Momoa movie coming on
That's
Apple
C.
that
That's
looks pretty
C.
cool.
Yeah.
That looks interesting.
which looks really good. Now, Joe, you brought up a great point. They're spending all this money. What are they going to do about the originals? Because they've already been promising us it's not a reboot, but it's a sequel to Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
Then they promised a sequel spin-off thing of Saved by the Bell.
Right.
Which
is going to be hilarious.
It's going to be great, but here's the problem, Brandon. Mm-hmm. If they don't have a budget,
Yeah, if you've spent all your money on pulling stuff together, and you're already pumping money into stuff for your actual broadcast network, because let's be honest, they're still making the majority of their money out of advertising,
right?
Because that's what broadcast does,
Right.
And you're going to give it for a competitive price of $4 to $7.
Why?
You're not going to be able to keep your stuff running. You're going to eventually have to farm that stuff out just so you can afford to keep everything going.
I've already taken Parks and Rec and The Office and Friends as a loss. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to see it anymore.
Now you just go buy the DVD and you can watch it whenever you want.
If I really wanted to see it,
just
I'll go buy the
all
box set.
60.
Because
you can get them for $20 a season or something. So
except for the fact, if you don't get them now, by the time they go exclusive on the Warners, you're going to be back to paying $50 a set. We've already seen some of these sets going back up, like the HBO sets.
Oh, the Game of Thrones sets.
Well, Deadwood, Carnival. Carnival's still like $70 a set in some cases.
I got a question for you guys. I've never had cable. Well, I had cable years ago, but it's how much is it a month? Like $80 or $60?
My whole package is $230.
It depends on what package you buy.
Like, what's a normal person get?
No. All right. So
let's just say it's $70.
I personally have never had cable.
Yeah.
Since I've been an adult. Any cable shows I watched were at someone else's house.
Yeah.
But I personally have looked into, and you can't get cheap bundles. Your cheapest bundle these days is $129.
Okay, but so basically
that's just your basic stuff.
Basic.
Netflix and Hulu, they came along and gave us sort of an a la carte idea where we can just pay $10 or whatever. But eventually you can't pay
that's
for
where
15 different
exactly.
streaming
Right. This is what we're getting at.
Yeah,
so eventually Disney and Warner or somebody's going to own all of it.
There's a meme out there that's brilliant. And it shows this guy looking at his menu on his smart TV, and it's got Amazon and Hulu and PSN and the
other one too.
and stuff. And he's like, "Well, I guess I can put you away, old friend." And he's putting a pirate hat in the closet. And then it says 2020, and it shows the 50 streaming services that are expected by the end of next year.
Yeah.
And it shows him pulling the pirate hat out and dusting the cobwebs off, because people are going to return. Piracy has gone down a lot in the past 5 or 6 years.
Because it's become readily available.
Yeah. But it's going to go through the roof, way worse than it was before.
I think so,
because
too.
we've gotten so used to being able to just jump on a streaming service and go, hey, I'm going to watch this movie that came out 2 months ago that's already here. I mean, there are movies that literally have been out in theaters for 4 weeks that you can now rent on Amazon.
Well, but that again, going to my point, I'm excited about this new movie, Between Two Ferns. Okay,
right.
With Zach Galifianakis and Will Ferrell, and there's a whole bunch of stars in this thing, and it's a Netflix original. Yeah. Netflix is putting money into the fact that we're going to put out some really good, high-powered, high-starred stuff. There's an Anthony Mackie Netflix show.
We said we'd stop promoting Anthony Mackie's Netflix shows.
I know. But
he's such a good actor, and he gets wasted by being put in these horribly written things on Netflix.
Yeah.
But there was the
but Raising Dion with Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
Where
Michael friggin' B. Jordan. He's like on top of the world.
Yeah.
He's
got so much coming out right now, and he did a Netflix movie.
Yep.
As the father of a child who ends up with superpowers.
Look at Will friggin' Smith.
Bright.
Yeah.
People give it crap for not being a good movie, but man,
it was good. I liked it.
It brought in the views.
Yeah, I liked it.
It's getting a sequel.
Hulu's now stepping into the ring, where they're going to start developing some high-powered stuff with some high-powered actors too.
Yeah.
I think where you're going to see.
I think the one that really just knocks it out of the park on how streaming is more important than anything else, though, is Martin Scorsese with The Irishman.
Yeah.
Look at that cast. It's Scorsese. Right. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
Netflix is actually giving it a theatrical run.
Right. I think where we're getting at with the Stream Wars, though, is that you're going to see a lot of hats, and we do have a lot of hats in the ring right now. And then boil it all down in about a year, 2 years' time, and NBC Peacock is going to go by way of the dodo.
Warner's is probably going to fall.
Warner's is
How much are
probably
they going to charge? Is it $10 or?
It's $7.
It's like $6.99 for the basic package on the NBC Universal thing, or
yeah,
the Peacock.
The cock.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
All right.
I
So
give you-
basically, we're back to having to rebundle.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that is getting me on this is where is all of this production coming from?
China. I'm not kidding. Investors out of China.
Well, I mean, you look at Netflix. Netflix at one point was producing every small screen MCU, pounding them out.
Netflix is what? $98 billion in debt from
Something
production.
like that. Yeah.
Wow, this is
Something like that.
I'm sorry, my brain is like all the studios, all of the production, all of the content that has got to feed these machines, because the classic stuff is only so good,
Right.
and the modern audience is only going to retread.
So long.
Even me, as much as I love my classics, I want to see what they're doing next.
Right. Right.
So, wow.
I think
this is a content war as much as a
production
service war,
yeah.
as much as a customer service war.
Yeah, it's what I like to call the boomerang effect. Not because of it coming back to you, but there is a Cartoon Network offshoot called Boomerang, which was all classic cartoons,
Right.
Classic Scooby-Doo, Looney Tunes, stuff like that. And they got to the point where it's like, we got to find something. There's brand new Scooby-Doo stuff that comes out on there all the time that nobody knows anything about, but then you come across it when you're on your Amazon thing, and it's like, wait,
Look.
they did a whole brand new thing full of the Scooby-Doo movies where they have, guest stars like Lady Gaga and Kenan Thompson. I didn't know these things existed until they did a free thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think where it's going to is, you're right, Alan. We're going to have to start bundling again,
Yeah.
or these production companies are going to have to start pulling the plug on some of the stuff.
You keep aiming the gun at somebody.
Yeah, what are you pointing at?
Oh, anyone is going to say something.
I will give you one reason why I'm going to get Peacock.
Okay.
Bluff City Law.
Yeah, but it's
What?
on network TV.
That's
Bluff
not
City
on
Law
regular
is going to
TV.
air on network TV, which means you can just go to NBC.com and watch it the night after it has aired.
Yeah, but it's the night after. It's lame.
Yeah.
You
Wait that long.
don't watch
Watch
TV
it live.
anyway.
DVR it.
All right. It's the next day. It's lame, but you're not gonna watch it until
got
like
spare
that
time.
weekend
Try out and
any
be
damn
on the
way.
show.
I'm gonna spend
That's true.
$6.99 on a
go
movie.
go outside and watch them film it.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend
want to.
$6.99 a month just because they might be filming in a place where I might drive by.
They're downtown now.
Yeah,
Jimmy Smith is here.
Yeah.
that's not anything new.
I know.
Jimmy Smith is always here.
They're always here, but still enough, they're shooting now.
I remember last year when they closed down all the stuff around the courthouse to film the pilot.
I know.
I don't.
I'm sorry.
I'll be honest.
I
don't think I
it
cussed
looks-
Jimmy
one-
Smith's more in my life. It's like,
Debbie Morgana.
damn it, Bale, get out of the way. I need to park.
Can you not just get blown up already?
By the way, now we're really going to be LA because now they're going to have rolling blocks.
That's true.
So get ready for that,
Yeah.
Memphis fam.
Hey, it's gonna be good.
No, it's going to be great. I'm not mad at it.
Oh wait.
But to your point though, Andy, there's no reason to buy it. There's no reason to buy it.
You're right.
I mean,
No.
You're right.
Plus, we're gonna have viewing parties at every bar in Memphis
Yeah.
every night because it's filmed here.
look, hey, our bar
And
is
you
on.
might be in the
come
background.
on, come on. We did that crap with Memphis Beat, and it filmed in New Orleans.
Yeah,
That's true.
No joke.
Well, it filmed for 5 minutes here.
Okay.
Got
Yeah,
3
the
static
opening.
shots.
Yeah, the opening.
But I again, you're gonna have to pick and choose. And right now, I'm still going with the big dogs.
Yeah.
Give me my Netflix.
Look,
give me my
most of this
Hulu.
stuff,
I'm
most
dropping-
of this stuff, if you really want it, you can buy it on the cheap on Amazon anyway.
Oh, that's another great point.
I'm gonna drop it for Disney.
Joe brought up the box sets. Go buy them on Amazon. You don't
If
need
it- yeah,
buy,
like,
buy
I-
them
like-
now before those prices get inflated.
Yeah.
So we
Take
already.
that, Peacock.
So there is not going to be a war.
Well,
We've
there
already-
is in a sense because
There is, but there are going to be losers.
Okay.
Like nobody is going to there will be
Nobody
sustainables.
wins in war, Joe.
So the only way to win is not to play. To quote Matthew Broderick or whoever.
no,
the
we'll
heck
just
that-
count
That
the
was the
corpses
computer.
in a
the
year.
computer. Yeah. Okay.
Well, they'll separate.
Joshua
they'll
was the
divvy
smart
up,
one.
and then as different what would we say financial structures fall apart or come together.
Okay.
Then they'll recombine.
Here we are,
So
end
so
of
and so will be
September.
reabsorbed.
End of September 2019. Okay, and let's go around the horn and let's talk about who's left. Just who's left out of all the streaming services in a year. We'll just say 2 years. We'll revisit this in 2 years.
Okay.
It might not
All
take
right,
that
all right,
long.
All right.
It won't.
It
All right.
Segment's not going to be over for
It's going to
2
be our
years.
big three. It's going to be we're going to have Hulu, Netflix, and Amazon. They're still going to be sitting pretty. Disney will still be there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
which means ESPN Plus as well.
Right.
NBC will be gone. I don't even think it's going to come together.
NBC may not even get off the ground.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think
Do
they're
you think
doing this as
CBS
a
will still be
bargaining
around?
ploy.
All Access?
CBS
well-
All Access can probably survive because of the fact that it does like the DC Universe streaming. It only shows one new show at a time,
Right.
Okay.
and now will it be making money?
I don't think so. And I think you're right.
Yeah.
There's only 4 that would survive out of this.
Yeah, yeah. And then Fire TV is going to come along from Fire Festival once he gets out of prison.
Nope,
and
no.
we'll start a new
I'm sorry, Joe. He won't be able to.
McFarlane-
He won't be able
McFarlane
to
Enterprises.
because as
McFarlane
soon as he tries to do that, he will be eaten by Jeff Bezos because Amazon already has Fire TV.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
All right.
But his guy who will
McFarlane
do-
TV then.
His guy will do anything.
He's already got a
and
sh-
he means anything.
Yeah, but he's already got a show.
for a
Jaw
pot of
Rule
water.
Productions. Yeah. Okay.
Area
Savage.
51 satellite system. There you go.
That's my vote. All right. Can we?
No, let everybody finish, Joe.
I'm going to the bathroom.
In your pants. We understand. Incontinence is a bitch. Andy,
Yes?
what's staying?
What's staying? Obviously, your big three. Although I'm interested in the idea that, like, why we still have a Hulu when Disney Plus is coming out when Disney owns a majority share?
Because Hulu's where they put the other shows that don't fall into the family-friendly thing.
But I see where Andy's going with this.
Moon Knight is going to Hulu.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I see where Andy's going with this. Why have 2 when you can have
Well,
one?
it was just a question.
Brody?
I'm not saying that they'll both be.
Brody, they have 3. And why would you need an ESPN Plus when Hulu has live sports?
See,
Touche.
yeah. Well, this is what I'm getting at, though. I'm not saying they won't be around. It's just a question, right?
I think
it may be something that they consider in the future.
Honestly,
it is a matter of
you have a very good point, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they just get all pulled under the one umbrella.
and
by
so
the
it
time.
Yeah.
just becomes Disney Plus.
No,
Yeah.
no. You own Burger King, you own Red Lobster, and you own an Italian chain.
Yeah.
You don't want one restaurant that serves all 3. You want
Yeah.
the 3 different demographics.
Well, that's it, but-
Pepsi,
But
Pizza
but
Hut, Taco Bell, KFC.
Yum.
Feed everybody.
It's Yums. It's Yums all over again. But here's the problem: in some of those buildings, you have a KFC and a Pizza Hut.
I understand.
Yeah,
I understand. But
But those bottom lines go into different categories.
but you're still the reason to have all 3 is people like me that are never ever ever going to spend a dime on a sports program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
0 attraction.
I'd rather listen to it on the radio anyway.
Well,
I don't disagree with you. I prefer radio commentary.
Yeah.
Well, you get homegrown. But here's what you're also seeing in like PlayStation networks and stuff like that. You can actually get the feed from the broadcast while you watch the game.
Yeah.
So I think that's where you're going with like ESPN Plus. I can watch 901 FC's broadcast of the game and not
You can.
Pittsburgh's.
You can.
Right.
Yeah. But
Right.
he doesn't
and
have
I
to.
know.
I don't care.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right. No,
I
get
okay,
the-
Care
so
humanly less about anybody running around in spandex that makes more than I do.
So okay, I get what you're saying now. So okay, we will have Netflix, Hulu, Amazon. Disney Plus will still be around.
Yeah.
Which means we'll probably also still have ESPN Plus. I think CBS will probably survive. Mm-hmm. I don't think NBC will.
No, I don't think.
I think DC Universe will be gone.
I think so too.
Just because all of that is owned by Warner Brothers.
Yep.
And Warner's doing their own thing, right?
Right.
But Warner doesn't have their own, like...
But they have their own production team.
Well, they don't have enough outside of that. Like Disney's got Marvel, they got Star Wars, they got Fox now. Like Disney has a lot that they can put on a streaming service. Right? CBS has not as much, but at least they can still say like, oh, we got Star Trek and we got the Twilight Zone, and, you know.
Right. I think where this goes though is the merger.
Yeah.
I think what you see is now the stream merger. So Disney Plus will be tabbed with ESPN, Hulu shows, if you will.
Yeah.
And Star Wars and Marvel and all that other stuff. It'll be tabbed. Netflix will buy NBC.
You think?
Probably.
Yes.
Probably.
And more than likely, there will be a merger with NBC and Warner to where that streaming service is under the Netflix umbrella. And I think what happens is you only have a big two. There's two that emerge. Your Netflix with DCEU and all that other stuff with Warner.
Still three. Because I know what you're going to say. You're going to say Netflix and Disney.
Yeah.
Right? Amazon is not going anywhere.
True there. So three.
No, so you're always going to have
corrected.
that corner post. Your YouTube. Who owns YouTube these days?
Google.
Don't forget, you still got a Google player out there.
Yeah,
that
Google's not going anywhere again, so that's 4.
And
Apple. And don't forget Apple, so that's
Apple's not producing anything there.
But they are. But they will.
They're producing original content?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. I did see. They have like a... Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. So...
The Jason Momoa seat.
You know, so don't forget your sideline players that are letting the fight go on, but they're standing there carrying baseball bats.
Yeah.
And that's Google.
Right.
Who has more money than anybody else.
Right. Which it also has
Amazon,
YouTuber.
who has more services, more depth than anybody else. So you'll keep paying Prime whether you take advantage of the media or not.
Right.
So they got a Prime. You got your Google. You got.
But I think Netflix and or Amazon buys up Warner Media and those other NBCs.
I don't think Amazon cares.
I don't know. I think they would.
Might.
I think they
if
might.
it's a fire sale, they might buy them.
Right. That's
but
what I'm
I
saying.
think they'll let somebody else buy it.
Yeah. I think Netflix and Hulu are your big two, followed by Google with YouTube.
I'm waiting to see what the YouTube technology does next. What Google could be your mystery player here.
Oh, YouTube Originals, YouTube TV.
Yeah.
It's already been named a failure.
Well, okay. Well, then that's out.
Because the only one that they had that was any good was Cobra Kai.
Yeah, and right now you can watch both the first season free and second season with commercials. Yeah. Season 3 will be available as premium and with ads.
Oh. Okay, well, there's that. All right. You know, we could actually just fast forward, though, when they find the technology for the time machine at Area 51. We got to talk about that next.
Geek Tank Radio energized by
Dark Oak Press and Media, an indie publisher and media provider offering everything from Alice in Memphis to mystery to young adult and everything in between. Get the latest at darkoakpress.com.
More below and on 1019kissfm.com. Keyword Geek Tank. Their superpower is knowing everything in the geek universe. Geek Tank Radio is on.
Okay, guys. Last season, we talked about how Alien stock had pulled out.
Yeah, they didn't want to get sued, right?
Well,
they didn't want to Firefest 2.0.
Well, they were, and apparently the woman who was running everything wasn't sharing the permits with them enough.
Right.
Well, last night, September 19th, they became a 4-hour EDM concert that apparently no one went to.
No one went to.
What's EDM?
Electronic dance music.
Yeah.
So they had a DJ and they went to a hotel.
They had like 6 DJs.
Basically, they went to a bar and 6 different DJs hooked their iPhone up to a speaker.
Yep.
And 4 people got drunk.
Yeah, who would go to that? That's lame.
Meanwhile, while they're doing that, in Rachel, Nevada, right
There we
outside
go.
the A. Lee Inn,
right.
people were erecting stages.
There you go.
And fences with replica signs from Area 51 because the people who were coming for the raid still showed up and they still needed entertainment.
They pitched a tent.
Absolutely.
No, dude.
So it's still on.
No, hold on.
Brandon.
You want to say they pitched a tent, which Nice on the entendre, but
Thank you.
what it looked like was more along the lines of what you see when an Amish community is raising a barn.
Yeah.
Oh, they were working hard.
These are big
stages and lighting sets, and they like big wooden structures. And
do you think
giant replica flying
saucers and stuff?
Who's funding this operation? Is everybody just doing it themselves?
These are very Burning Man at this point.
That's pretty cool, man.
Basically, what these guys did, and I think it's going to come out along these lines, is that Connie, who has all the permits, looked at the homie from Alien Stock and goes, "You're not going to rape these people for money."
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just trying to get some money out of it.
Yeah, I think that's what it kind of boiled down to is Rachel Nevada sat there and looked at it like, wait a minute, what are you trying to do really?
Yeah.
Why are you trying to take over what we already had planned?
Right, and I think they said, you know what, it's not going to happen. You should probably pull out. And they were like, yeah, we don't want to Fireface 2.0. Yeah. And they said, we're taking our ball and going home.
Meanwhile, they took their ball and went to Vegas to try and capitalize on the fact that the iHeart Music Fest is happening in Vegas this weekend, and
they failed.
Yeah, that doesn't really work. That's like those guys that try to do something during Comic-Con. They hold their own convention a mile away.
Yeah,
nobody's going to go to that.
Well, here's the bottom line, Joe, is that your good DJs in Vegas have a gig already.
Yeah, they're already working.
They're already in the casinos.
Yeah.
I know of one because he works for us.
Crows!
He's not going to some pea shooter EDM festival in a parking lot.
Right. Yeah.
That's at this point below him. I'm sorry.
He's the one who got us the pictures, though, isn't he?
Yeah. He drove by and went, the hell?
Well, but here's the thing. You know how they talk about managing expectations?
Right.
Okay, this event is called Storming Area 51. Or the idea is they've had enough. It's time for the government to reveal all of our alien secrets, and so they're going to show up and force them to do that, right? Well, we know that's not going to happen.
No.
Right? So what's actually the whole idea here? I mean, are these guys all going to just stand around, talk to each other, and then go home?
The people who show up are going to basically get together.
Yeah.
They're going to hang out. They have permission to get up to the fence. They can't go past the fence.
Right.
It's not like you can get a visitor's pass.
They can't bust it down, and
they'll go out there. They'll chant. They'll do their really. They'll do their show us some alien things. There'll be some guys dressed like Star Trek characters.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Andy's got video.
Is it breaking news?
And it's like there's a kid doing
one kid doing the Naruto run.
There's a kid doing the Naruto run behind the
one guy.
Porter.
One guy.
It's going to turn into an annual
but remember,
convention,
you're watching video of the setup. These guys aren't even supposed to be in full force until Saturday, the 21st.
Yeah.
Is it Saturday or is it today?
No, it's the 21st.
Okay.
Yeah, they're showing up now. So.
They've been showing up. Apparently, they've had volunteers showing up all week.
Do we know the weather forecast? Because it's pretty hot right now.
It's hot.
It's gonna be hot and dry.
It's hot and dry.
You're in the middle of the freaking desert.
Well, I mean,
actually,
weather report.
What's going to happen here?
Sandy.
What's going to happen
Sandstorms
here
at noon.
is that somebody's going to activate the weather dominator, which is there because that's where you would hide it.
Sure.
And they're going to make it rain.
Hey, Alan, do you happen to know what the defense mechanisms on that fence are? Are they? Is it an electrified fence or?
There's parts of it that are. I know that.
Did they?
By the time you got to the fence, you're at
You'd have 3 rubber bullets in your butt.
You are way past the first layer of security.
Is somebody going to sneak a drone over there?
No.
That's
No.
That would be shot down.
There are signs letting you know that drones will be shot down on site.
So somebody's going to.
Okay.
Oh, you know what?
They'll be shot down.
They have the Falcons that attack the drones.
They do have the. That is where those are.
Yeah.
I've shown you pictures of those, Joe.
Ooh, I want to see that. So they're going to deploy the Falcons and
they will take
good if you.
They will take down drones.
Actually, what'll probably happen is there's going to be one guy.
Somebody's going to be the troublemaker.
Oh, we're not talking about the people who are attending. There's going to be one guy because it's lax security because they're like. They're nerds. They're internet nerds. They're going to start running. They're going to make it 5 feet away from where they got and realize they can't breathe in this heat and keel over.
Oh, that's true. They won't be able to handle
What's
the
funny
run.
is that video
Trust
of the
me,
Naruto
it
run
is
guy.
not-
He probably ran to the end of the screen and stopped.
No,
because he's winded.
I don't think he's making it that far. If you look, he's already stumbling before he gets behind the guy.
So
This could be great. I hope there's lots
This
of
is
video
gonna be
out of this.
amazing.
Joe, there
I wish I
are
was there.
motion detection and listening devices long before you get to that fence.
And you know that those people that run the Alien Hotel, they're all CIA operatives in
But
there.
Andy-
they're not
Andy and I-
real.
Andy and I
no, they're
talked about
not.
this.
They're just people that live in the desert.
Oh no, those
Listen.
guys are secret agents.
Andy and I
man.
have talked about this. Okay.
Yeah, well, we can go ahead and throw those theories out.
No. This festival could have been something really cool for astronomers.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean?
Because here's the thing. Where do you go to see the most amount of stars?
Yeah, you
Middle
go
of
to the-
nowhere.
Middle of nowhere. Where are they going?
Middle of nowhere.
Exactly. And I think like this festival could have been really cool. Like they have like quote unquote blackout times in the festival.
Well, there is a local mesa not too far the other direction.
Yeah.
That a lot of telescope people are very fond of getting up on and trying to look over into Area 51.
But you could really have a really
Flip
cool
it up and you could have had the stargazing event of the year.
Right. And I think that's what we were getting at is like they really missed the boat here.
They need to time it with the moon.
Yeah.
Get it for the dark of the moon and get out
when it's
there
really
and
no
have
full moon
and really throw a big BYOT, bring your own telescope
Hold on.
party.
Yeah, but those
Do
are.
you guys are you guys really so naive to think that this has anything to do with science?
Yeah, I was going to say these
but
are
it could have. That's what we're going
No,
with.
but
This
people
it
you're
could've.
talking about
it
are-
couldn't have.
Of
The
course
sci-
there'd
the
been
science
alcohol
people
involved.
already have their things set up. This is literally a bunch of gamers from Mama's basement who don't have nothing better to do than try and sneak in and find aliens.
Look,
Okay,
if I could walk,
but-
I'd been there.
But Brandon, are they? Because one thing that was fun about Firefest was watching all these rich,
Yeah.
kids basically get
No.
get,
Yeah,
get
no,
all.
no,
are
this-
these
this
kids
is the
rich
anti of
basement
that.
this
dwellers?
is the
or
other
are they-
version.
Well, they got to have money to get out there, so they got to.
Not by
They got to have a
much.
running vehicle.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not really.
Mom, can you drop me off at Alien Stock?
Go to alien
Rachel,
stuff.
Nevada has a bus stop, dude.
Okay, well, I
Welcome
mean,
to
busting all
Trailways,
those
baby.
guys in.
Greyhound has this thing they call Super Bus.
Yeah.
Which will drop you off anywhere.
Yeah.
And what is it, Alan? Like $98?
Oh yeah.
And it's like you just get on the bus and then you get off when you're ready to.
We should have put Andy underneath.
If this is going
I
to be,
wanted to send Andy, and you wanted to do it slingshot style, and I didn't want him to get injured that badly.
Yeah.
You got to work a camera.
if this has any success, they're going to probably do it every year, right?
well, why not?
What kind of success is it going to have, Joe?
What
if
would you
everybody
call
has,
an
I'd
success?
say
All right,
a
all right,
success
look,
is if
here's-
they all have fun.
here's the thing.
And they meet a bunch,
Yeah.
and they feel like we've.
Oh my
just
God!
begun the
Could you
assault,
imagine? Could you imagine 20 years from now being some dude and being like, "Mom, where'd you meet Dad?" No.
There you go. A lot of people will.
No,
We got engaged at alien stuff.
No, it's more like this. It's like, so we were just driving through this, podunk town, and there was this guy on the side of the road dying of heat exhaustion and dehydration, wearing a hoodie and this weird bandana with a leaf on it.
Right, there you go. Think of all
with
the
his arms
friendships.
tucked behind him.
But I thought he was cute.
He fell down, and for some reason it looked like he was in handcuffs, but he wasn't.
And it's basically the story of how Marty McFly's parents met. Because there's no time travel.
Right.
We're laughing about this. What if there's some serious guys that bust the fence down and they go for
They
it?
ain't gonna
What
bust
if-
the fence down.
Joe, it's not
As
possible.
they've said.
What if they ram it like with a vehicle? or
These
something?
guys
They'll
can
get
shoot.
blown up.
All right, here's
You've
the
heard
thing.
of
Here's the
drunkenness.
thing.
I mean, people
I don't
get
know
drunk
if you've ever seen this before.
Yeah.
But there are these guns
guns.
the military has
Yeah.
that fire a shell about as big around as these microphones.
Mm-hmm.
And when those hit an engine block, you don't ram anything anymore.
Well,
It's over.
I don't know, we'll see.
These guys have rubber bullets that they're probably going to use more.
Well, that's on the runners. But if somebody tries to charge it with a vehicle, well,
You're not
before
getting
they're
up
there,
the
that
road.
vehicle's
You're
going
not
to be
getting up the road.
No.
But our
our
guards
milita-
going to come out and even face off against
They won't
these
have
guys?
to.
They won't have to.
They won't have to. They have automated weapons in guard towers. That's all they need.
Okay.
Because nobody wants to sit in that guard tower because it's hot.
I'm just picturing some troublemaker bringing a bazooka or something, and
Joe, that's not a civilian weapon, Joe.
Oh, well, you've seen these preppers where they've got every kind of weapon.
You know what the thing about preppers are, though, Joe?
Survivalists
they don't
are not
leave
at
their
this.
compound
Yeah, but what if
to get supplies?
What if they're prepping for the invasion, and so this is the time
not
to
going
take
on
action?
attack,
I love how
you-
Joe somehow turned this segment into conspiracy in action.
No,
What
no,
the
no.
hell, Joe?
Here's the thing: if you are.
Well, it
you
is
are
Area
a
51.
prepper and you're ready for the invasion,
Yeah.
you definitely don't leave your
Oh, you ain't
blanket
gonna go poke
unguarded.
the bear.
Yeah, that would be like, hey,
You send your son.
That's like saying, you know what? I haven't pissed anybody off in a while. Let
Yeah.
me go kick a cop in the ass.
Well,
You don't do that.
Yeah.
I say somebody's going to go for it. Somebody's going to
I-
get
oh,
in trouble.
somebody
And
will. They
somebody's
just
gonna
won't
get a
close
rubber
enough.
bullet lodged in their butt.
There's already been a couple of Danish YouTubers who got arrested
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. They had the drone, right?
for pushing too close.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Ven and Wen.
Yeah.
you know,
All it takes is one person to
But see, Joe, here's the thing.
Yeah.
They have terrestrial listening devices. Think. Let me give Joe a reference. Think Tremors.
yeah.
They have little devices
You
that
never saw
let
Tremors?
No.
you
Kevin
never.
Bacon.
Well, whatever.
That would have been Joe's movie.
Okay,
that
but
would have
let's
been
not get
Joe's movie.
distracted.
Really?
Yeah. Alan, that's all well and
I'm
good.
not having it. I don't know. I just think that we need to end the segment. The fact that Joe hasn't seen Tremors.
Yeah.
That's the most
Shame
insane
on you.
thing.
That's the conspiracy.
That's the insane
Sci-Fi
part.
Channel for like 20 minutes. It's on.
Okay.
All of them.
All of them.
I feel like there's a follow-up report coming out of this,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
I mean, this is awesome.
Yeah,
We're living in great
the follow-up
times right
report.
now.
I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. Nothing happened, but people had fun.
No.
Or some dumbass got arrested. There you go. Those are your two follow-up reports.
And the little alien
You're
sold
never gonna,
out of
you're not
those
gonna,
T-shirts.
You're not going to get
Yeah.
one of those reports where it's like, and one guy got in, and when he got into the tanks, he found out it's not at Area 51, it's in Area 52. Now we've got to find where that is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's in the middle of the ocean.
Absolutely. Can't wait.
Anyways, guys, as if we weren't hyper enough as it is, when we come back, Andy's going to be pissed off about something.
Okay,
We've talked about them,
We've played them.
and now we'll show you.
The all-new Twitch channel from Geek Tank Radio is here,
Ready Player Geek.
where we unpack and dive into single-player story-driven games, to fighters, to multiplayer shooters, to tabletop and card games, and everything in between.
And stay up to date with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Ready Player Geek.
Check us out now at twitch.tv/ReadyPlayerGeek.
Streaming every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday night at 8 Central.
You're never too old for animated goodness.
From books to the screen, you are in the Geek Tank.
all right, look. I'm not.
Settle down, Andy.
Shut up, Joe.
I literally said 4 words. I said 4 words, Joe.
But he can already feel it.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Look, I'm not one who's disparaging all the time about things that come into the comic book world.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
I am not.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I will. I'll disparage the entire department. Go for
Okay.
it.
Thanks, Alan.
They're too expensive. But go ahead.
I'm
Nobody
talking-
knows how
I'm-
to write anymore.
I'm talking about stories, but this is what I'm getting at. You're getting me there. So, we have a new Spider-Man book that just hit the shelves by it. It says it's by J.J. Abrams, his son Henry, and the art is by Sarah Pichelli, which the art is fantastic. I always love Sarah Pichelli's art.
Yeah.
How old is his
Yeah.
son?
It's like 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
JJ wrote the outline, and Henry did like the dialogue.
So it pays to know somebody.
So,
Well, yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
so the plot of the book is stupid.
Yeah.
You mean besides a radioactive teenager that sprays?
Oh
stuff
no no
out
no
of
no
a
no!
bottle
It's
of
a,
not
it's a whole
realistic, yeah.
no. It's a whole nother thing of like, oh, Peter and MJ got married, and then MJ gets killed. Peter loses his right arm, replaces it with a hook, and their 12-year-old ginger son Ben finds out that, oh wait, I'm starting to develop powers, and my dad used to be the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
that is
so
more
that's the story.
improbable or
So
less
they-
improbable
so basically-
than.
So
Basically, we just got the MC2 Spider Girl
yes,
gender swap,
it's Mayday gender swapped.
And instead of Pete losing a leg, he loses an arm.
I don't hold it against his kid. I hold it against Marvel for publishing something.
This is what I'm getting at, Joe. This is what I'm getting at. This is why I'm upset. There's absolutely no reason whatsoever that Henry Abrams should be writing a Spider-Man book, other than the fact that his dad happened to write a TV show that produce a TV show that nobody understood, including him, and he happens to wear a pair of glasses and directed a halfway decent Star Wars movie.
Hey, jackass.
What?
Nobody cares about his contributions to Lost. That's Damon Lindelof who matters there. His contributions to Alias, which he wrote, directed, created, that is why he gets jobs at Marvel, not because of anything to do with Lost.
Why can't his son write comics, though?
Because his son can't write.
Because his son can't write.
That is
what I'm getting at, Joe.
I'm
not even mad about the Spider-Man thing. I'm mad about the nepotism.
His son's dialogue is like almost as bad as some of the stuff Brody has written for us to record voices.
No, what I'm saying that's not. No, I mean, but isn't it Marvel's
Andy,
fault?
Am I lying?
No, you're not lying. He's not in the room. We could say it.
He can write all the fan fiction he wants. And
he can do fan fiction all day long.
Yeah,
but the only reason he's getting this shot is because of his dad is.
His dad is J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is what I'm getting at.
And I'm betting
How are you shocked?
I'm betting
I'm not shocked. I'm pissed off.
I'm betting as bad as it is, it's probably still better than Damon Lindelof's Ultimate Hulk versus Wolverine.
Hey, Andy, before you continue, question.
What?
Is this a marketing stunt by Marvel?
Yes.
Well, hold on. Or is it Marvel just like, well, it's J.J. Abrams, we better just keep him happy?
No, it's a marketing
Marvel
stunt.
has no reason to keep J.J. happy, especially now that he's signed an exclusive production deal with Warner Brothers.
So that's what I'm wondering. Who's going to get all excited that J.J. Abrams' kid wrote something?
It's
I don't
sold
care.
out.
It's sold out because
it's sold out.
Is it speculators like those guys that bought all the silver foil covers in the 90s?
No. It's people who will buy it because the name's on it.
They'll buy it. Look, they're buying it for two reasons.
Are they sticking JJ's name on there?
Yes.
Well, because
they're saying written by J.J. Abrams and Henry Abrams.
Oh, okay. Well, they're putting his name on it.
Well, JJ's co-plotter because he wrote the outline and developed the story.
Okay.
Henry's just doing the panel by panel, actually writing.
It's like how Stan Lee took writing credit for all of Jack Kirby's Fantastic Four stories.
Yeah. I gotcha.
So,
yeah.
So this is what I'm getting at, though. This kid has no credit whatsoever to his name. He has there's nothing that says Henry Abrams by himself is talented, aside from the fact that of who his father is.
Literally,
right?
when you bring him up on Google, the first thing underneath it, Henry Abrams, is J.J. Abrams' son. That's the only title he has.
That's his credit. Yeah.
No, not anymore. Now he's got a Spider-Man.
No. They don't even put that in his profile.
But they will. They will. It's okay.
You have people who are genuinely talented. I'm not even talking about myself at this point. I am kind of talking about myself, but I'm not talking about myself. You have people who are genuinely talented, good writers, people who have worked for a long time to try to, at the very least, break into an industry that isn't going to pay them any money whatsoever to do the job.
Right.
And they're being told endlessly, no, this is how you have to do it. You have to spend your own time for no money, and then spend your actual money to self-publish a comic book or a graphic novel. Or if you can manage to get enough people to crowdfund your book, then you can do it that way. But you have to spend your own time for no what's the word I'm looking for? I'm too angry.
Compensation.
Compensation. Thank you,
there
Alan. You have to spend your own time for no compensation to self-publish with your own money to make a book that some people might at some point think is decent enough to say that you're willing to do the deadline thing in order to be able to get, I don't know, a one-shot or an annual from somebody who's not even part of the big two, so that you may eventually get a job somewhere that's going to pay you roughly $35,000 a year, and yet this kid at 20 is getting a Spider-Man title with a #1 because his dad is J.J. Abrams? I am so mad about this.
That was the longest run-on sentence I've ever heard. That was good, Andy.
I think Andy's
without taking a breath.
Progress now.
I don't totally.
Welcome to reality, John.
I don't really.
You ready?
I don't totally disagree with you, Andy. I mean, I feel like talent is not given its fair shot. It's a lot. It's just about selling comics for
I'll
the
do you
wrong
one
reasons.
better.
Yeah.
What?
90% of the DC writers at one point only had their job because Scott Snyder was their professor.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I did.
There's a big chunk right before the New 52, and then during the beginnings of the New 52, where almost every writer there who had a prominent book. I mean, you still had your mainstays like Scott Lobdell and everything, but your main books were being written by people who had attended Scott Snyder's class on comic writing.
Yeah. Oh,
well, I mean, look at how many people got jobs at Marvel because they knew Bendis in Portland.
Yeah, and they weren't even people he taught. They just happened to know.
They just knew. Kelly Sue DeConnick is a perfect example. That woman can't write a book to save her life, and yet somehow she got a job at Marvel.
And to think about it, she's the one who got her husband his job.
Right.
Is this story a one-off, or are we going to get a sequel?
It's basically
a
when's part 2 coming?
It's like a mini-series, probably, because that's how Marvel publishes books now. They don't publish books to be monthly titles. They do them to be in mini-series, so then eventually they can get a trade.
They buy a limited series idea from someone and then run with it.
Well, what kind of fan is buying this? Like, are these
apparently
Spider-Man
everyone?
Well, I'm just wondering who's there. And do they go, "Oh my gosh, J.J. Abrams"?
Well, okay,
and they
so
just pick it up?
here's what's going to happen. They got issue 1, and it got bought out. It got sold out because it's a number 1, and it's got J.J. Abrams' name on it.
But
issue 2 is not going to sell that much.
Let's take a step back on this, though.
Yeah.
Most of what is being counted as being sold out just means that Diamond doesn't have any copies. Right. There are copies that are probably populating shelves and hold boxes that will never leave the comic shop.
I don't always believe that sold out stuff. I always think it's a marketing type thing.
But that's the thing is, like,
hurry up and get your copy.
You know when a book has actually sold out if it goes to a second printing.
Right.
But that's because there's demand for more issues.
Right. Yeah.
Look at Tom King's last 4 or 5 issues of Batman. As he's coming up on the end of the City of Bane storyline, it's selling out and going to additional printings. There has been I was just looking at it. There's been no talk of a reprint of this Spider-Man book.
No.
And that's because right now, dealers who have bought it from Diamond and bought the entire stock out from Diamond have not come back and gone, man, I need 30 more issues of this thing.
Right.
Because it's not going anywhere.
Because that's how, this is the thing of how local comic book shops work now, is they have to buy the stock from Diamond. And then if they don't sell it, that's why you see 50 cent and 25 cent bins at local comic book stores of books that are relatively recent.
Yeah.
Is because if they don't sell it, they can't do anything with it. They can't sell it back to Diamond. They can't ship it back. They have to get rid of it.
Unlike Image and DC, which take returns,
right?
A lot of your limited Marvel stuff, there's no return on it.
No.
Yeah. And the other thing is they have to buy a certain number of issues, like with the regular cover. If there's a variant cover,
if there's a variant,
Marvel will tell them, like, you got to buy 5 or 10 of the regular cover in order to get one of the variant.
This once again, while everybody loves their Marvel, I stick with my DC guys, because DC, when they put out a variant cover, you can order the variant cover directly from Diamond. Go, hey, I got 5 people who want the
the art germ variant of Catwoman.
Yeah, the art germ variant of Catwoman.
Yeah.
They want this cover specifically. I need 5 of those. You get 5 of those no matter how many issues of the regular cover you got.
Yeah.
I need 6 blank covers to Detective whatever.
Which is why if you look at the Diamond numbers for Marvel's books, they're super inflated because comic book shops are having that's the numbers of what comic book shops bought from Diamond.
I haven't trusted those numbers for years.
What's being sold to the consumer.
There's too much manipulation.
It's easy to check those numbers and trust those numbers because Diamond is very transparent about it.
Right.
They will tell you straight up, this is what was bought from us.
Yeah, but
the reason why your Batman title is not in the top 10 of sales is because Batman had 6 different covers, and each one of those covers has a different number.
Right.
Marvel's, all 6 of their covers have the same UPC code.
Right.
Yeah, but just because Diamond sold out doesn't mean that everybody's
that's exactly it. Diamond being sold out does not mean that the comic book shops are sold out.
Right.
Diamond being sold out is what is considered the market standard for selling out because the distributor sold out.
Right.
Now, whether or not the individual guys, like there's a guy who has 150 copies of Cyberfrog coming.
Right.
And now the Cyberfrog's actually shipping. He bought them because they were going to be hard to get.
Yeah.
Right.
And now that they're not going to be hard to get, he's on the hook for 150 copies.
Yeah, we've seen this
Did you see it?
man.
It's an ash can.
Yeah.
It's tiny.
Yeah.
Someone needs to kick somebody in the face.
This stuff is what irritates me. I'm with Andy on this. I just want good storytelling. That's why I've gotten away from buying comics because I just don't think that's the focus.
You have guys who have been on the grind for 10 and 15 years trying to find some way to get in. And especially like for an artist, it's way easier because you have a portfolio that can be reviewed by an editor in person when you go to a con.
That's true.
Right? You
And
can
Although
take
they're
a
pretty
portfolio
busy
to that
there.
guy. Yeah, I mean they are, but like they have special sessions set up, especially at places like San Diego and New York, where they have special time slots set up for portfolio reviews. That's all they do.
Yeah.
Is artists will come to the con and they'll speak. God, I can't even speak. They'll take 10 or 15 minutes to go through somebody's portfolio to look at their cover art and to look at their interiors.
Yep.
You can do that for an artist.
Yeah.
You can tell by looking at it within minutes. This guy has the skill, or he's got the talent, or he doesn't.
The hardest thing about writers is that they may show up and have the greatest thing written out there, but it's going to take time to read it.
Yes.
And they don't have
that's
that.
the
thing.
They
You
don't
can't
have
do a
that kind of
review
time.
for a writer.
And
No,
even
you
those
can't.
who do have that kind of time, they have no concept of what it took you to write that.
Yeah.
Right.
So they can't tell whether or not you'd be able to hit their deadlines or not.
Exactly.
And,
And the other thing is just being able to read a script, a comic book script, gives no indication whatsoever as to whether or not you translated the art direction very well to the artist.
Right. Yeah,
So
that's
the
true.
script, the dialogue could look great.
Yeah.
But if you didn't tell the artist exactly what needed to be in the panel to make the story work, it could still look like crap. So what they're telling people is relatively accurate. You need to have a book that's been published, even if you published it yourself, so that we can see that you know how to write dialogue, that you know how to give art direction, that you know how to put a sequential story together, that you know how to pace a graphic novel correctly, because it's far different from doing it in prose. So
and when it all comes down to it, there's also the element of whether or not you and your artist communicate well enough to sell said book.
Exactly.
Because they're going to expect your first time out, they're not going to put any kind of promotion behind you. They're going to expect you to promote
sell the book.
on your own.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not against the system.
Yeah.
What I'm against is people bypassing the system.
Yeah.
By means
Yeah.
of knowing someone, whether that be a parent or a professor or a friend or whatever else. If you just bypass the system because you happen to know a guy, that's BS.
No, that is the system, though. That has always been the system.
It's life.
I don't blame that. I blame the
You know,
people that
it's-
bought it, though.
I mean,
like
it's,
if you're
it's,
just gonna,
it's the same. Let's just say that you're looking for a your kid fresh out of high school. You're just looking for some work to do before you start college, and your dad happens to be a pastor and gets you working with the youth group.
yeah.
Same deal. I mean, it's in every industry. I'm not saying it's right.
It's not what you know.
It's always
It's
been
who
who
you
you
know.
know.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
people aren't forced to buy the comic. It's like I think it's still the whole.
No, but you also got to realize that you've got Spider-Man fans out there that will buy anything that says Spider-Man on it,
Yeah.
and they won't care if it's bad or not. They will continue to read it through the whole thing and go, "Man, this story it's not doing it for me." But at this point, you got issues 1 and 2. You have to have all 6 issues. Because the
That's what's wrong with it, man.
Well, comics fandom in and of itself is based on these days on collection. It's not based on enjoyment.
That's
Right.
that's what I don't like.
You
It's like-
would not believe
It
how many
preys
people
on the OCD of the fandom.
Right.
You would not believe how many people I talked to in a comic book shop who were like, man, I cannot stand Tom King's Batman. And then they pick it up anyway because
Right.
it's Batman.
It's an addiction too. I remember going through that when I was younger. Like I'm like, well, I can't miss this because what if it's
It breaks up your
it
run.
breaks up the series, or
Yeah.
it's like it might be worth
the biggest
something
issue you see in
someday,
fandom nowadays, and I'm gonna play it out here. I've already hit for hate mail once this week. I can go ahead and do it now. In fact, if I get hate mail during one of your segments, I kind of feel it's a Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
One of the biggest problems nowadays is that it doesn't matter if the book is good or not. You're going to have people who are going to buy it and then just shred it all day long.
Yeah.
Because it's not what they would have done, and we've got this entitlement phase going on across fandom in general, where if it's not what you want, you're going to bitch, but you're going to keep buying.
Yeah, that's
because
what I
your own
don't like.
OCD works against you.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't have enough self-control.
Because I'm not necessarily against the concept of if you're a fan and they publish something you don't like, then you can say you don't like it. You can say that you don't think it's a good story, and then not spend your money on it.
Yeah.
But if
That's
you
how you vote.
but if you
Yeah.
say this is crap,
And
and
then
then
you
you
continue
continue to buy it,
You
Right.
just
you're just
perpetuate
all
that
you're doing is
You're
complaining.
enabling.
You're
Yeah.
yelling into the ether at that
Yeah.
point. Like
and that leads to entire conglomerations of people that just need to realize they've outgrown comics
Yeah.
Yeah.
and move on to their next fandom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you can still go back and enjoy your one-offs, like X-Men issues where they don't do anything but play softball. One issue, boom. Those were some of the best X-Men, or best written X-Men issues ever. Chris Claremont can write the hell out of a softball game.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on his Neo storylines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's also
But
take
now-
a look at it is also a shrinking market.
Well, you want to believe that, but then when you see the numbers, when they do release the numbers of digital, your brick and mortar comic shops are going to go away if they don't find another way to diversify their business. But people keep buying these things in droves.
Yeah, well, but
because
you have fewer, more intense buyers.
You have, again, I'd like to believe that, but when you've got 2.5 billion people who are signed up for Comixology,
Yeah. I mean, I haven't.
and
Well,
buy their monthly books through Comixology instead of going into the brick and mortar store. Yeah, it's not as big as it was, but it's still not even remotely small anymore.
well, I mean, I have
Because
a
it's-
Comixology
yeah.
account, but I use it for all the manga that I buy
Yeah.
because I can't get it in brick and mortar.
Well, you
Or
can.
Well, I mean, I can, but they didn't have it when I wanted it, so I bought it digital.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, I buy digital nowadays because I just don't have any space.
yeah,
You know, I've got
that's
my-
the
I
other
got-
thing.
I
I've
got my-
got so many bookshelves that are just
I
full
got
of
my-
comics. I'm out.
I got my stuff I buy from Jay and everything, but there's so many things that I'm going like, I'd love to own this, but these are only available in hardbacks. I don't know where I'm gonna put them.
Yeah. Like I'm out of space.
Yeah.
I've got full bookshelves
But I mean,
and then desks
It's
and
it's the same, Alan. You know what it's like. You know, you're a publisher. You know, you've watched the.
Oh, I've been sitting here just rolling my eyes the whole time.
You've watched
going,
your ebbs and flows.
oh, yes.
You know that while you may have a shrinking market today, in 2 weeks.
It can all change.
Stuff can
A
go
year,
right through the
a
roof.
year can make all the difference. But
And
I
what's
feel
doing it
for Andy, but
Yeah.
you
What's
know.
doing it for comics right now, as far as getting those sales back up, is it's become so mainstream that you've got people buying stuff, not reading it, and not remembering that they've got it in their Comixology thing, even though they've put on the monthly purchase. And it just keeps that money coming in on stuff that really should have been canceled years ago.
yeah.
And again, here comes the hate mail. Captain Marvel is one of the biggest issues with that. Carol's books never keep the sales up.
They never.
And will they all- rather
Captain
than
Marvel has been
cancel
rebooted
them?
6 times, 8 times,
8 times.
8 times since they changed her to
since
Captain
she wa-
Marvel in 2012.
Meanwhile, when she was Miss Marvel and Warbird, she could sell.
Yeah, those books went to issue. They canned Brian Reed's Miss Marvel to change her to Captain Marvel with Kelly Sue DeConnick in 2012 at issue 50, and that book was still selling high.
Yep. And then immediate drop off.
And then immediate drop off.
Well, that's what happens when you get
that's also
when you get your MCU together and you
actually,
have a.
That's what happens when you yank from a seasoned writer who's doing good on the book and hand it to someone who was your friend,
Right.
and that you gave a job to.
Once again,
Yeah.
nepotism.
Yeah. The scourge of humanity.
We've talked about them,
We've played them.
and now we'll show you.
The all-new Twitch channel from Geek Tank Radio is here,
Go Ready Player Geek.
where we unpack and dive into single-player story-driven games, to fighters, to multiplayer shooters, to tabletop and card games, and everything in between.
And stay up to date with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Ready Player Geek.
Check us out now at twitch.tv/ReadyPlayerGeek.
Streaming every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday night at 8 Central.
There's always those stories that defy labels. Thankfully, there's the GTR Random Roundup.
All right, guys, we always love dramatic irony on this show, right? I do, anyway. Okay. You guys, okay. Anyway, well, when you're a kid, I'd say being a teenager qualifies as being a kid, right? Don't you think?
I mean,
you can make hot-headed decisions that you might regret later.
Yes.
There was a young lady in Lincoln, Nebraska, who broke up with her boyfriend.
Oh yeah.
And so to I don't know what, for therapy or purge, she put all her love letters that this guy wrote. For one thing, a 19-year-old writing love letters. I mean, I didn't even think that happened anymore.
Yo.
Love texts or emails.
I keep all my birthday cards, all my happy anniversary cards.
I get that. I just didn't know they.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know young people wrote anything anymore.
And then at the end of October, I toss them. Because I don't want to be reminded if someone accidentally gives me the same birthday card twice.
Oh no! See, I keep all of my stuff. I know exactly.
I keep
what
everything
this-
too,
oh,
but so anyway, she was upset, so she burned all the love letters. Yeah. Unfortunately, she did it inside her apartment, and it started a fire. Well, she fell asleep. Now, I don't get this kid at all. She lights it. She's in a rage of jealousy and anger.
Did she fall asleep or pass out?
That's what I'm trying to get. Is it smoke inhalation? Was she drunk?
Right,
Was she?
I've read this story. It's a butane torch.
Yeah.
In
the house.
I use butane in the house all the time when I'm working on my masks.
Right.
As long as you have a decent circulation, it's not going to have a problem. But I have had rage issues that led to a passing out.
Really?
Yes.
From the butane?
No, being so pissed off or upset about something that my body's just drained, and I eventually just kind of like lean over and then I'm asleep.
Really?
That could be it.
Yeah,
because she was upset. Apparently, the story goes is that she caught him in a situation.
Oh, I wondered. Yeah. Well, I wondered about that.
Which is why she was position.
Which is what led to the burning of the memorabilia.
Okay, but the love letter part is interesting to me because I didn't think people did that anymore. Unless they did it in high school and they were passing notes or something.
I have all that stuff, Joe.
Yeah,
there's only 2 times where I've ever burned.
Today they don't do it. They text each other.
I threw a bunch of stuff in the dumpster, but I didn't set it on fire.
No,
but we always
you always do an ex effigy. You should learn from Ron's.
We always talk about don't burn the written word, and here's proof, man. You just don't. And plus, what if they,
got a point.
People are always getting back together. What if they get back together and it's like, and she regrets that she did this?
Maybe she'd already.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Maybe they were text messages.
We were on a break.
Maybe we were on a break. Shut up, Ross.
Yeah.
Maybe they were. Maybe they were text messages, and just for the therapeutic way, she printed them out.
Oh, so these are printed love letters.
Let's just go with that.
Let's go with that.
So it's still okay. Well, I don't know. Just settle down, everybody. But go ahead. All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, everybody ready to visit our favorite place?
Oh yeah. It had to happen.
All right. Fernandina Beach, Florida.
I don't know where that one is. That's a new place.
No, we've been there once or twice.
Have we been there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Melbourne?
This is the first time we've been.
Melbourne? Yeah.
This is the first time we've been there with people.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's usually an animal story.
Right, yeah. It's normally animal.
No. Well, it's a couple kind of acting
like
animalistic.
Okay.
Fernandina Beach,
on the
Florida.
Discovery Channel.
So you're telling me the Florida prime real estate of meth is involved.
Okay.
Authorities say a man and a woman
cycling
who were stopped for drunken bicycling.
Yes.
In the Florida beach town.
All right.
Then proceeded to have sex in the deputy's patrol car
after being
arrested. Before one of them fled the scene naked.
Nice.
Who fled?
Well, if they had sex, it wasn't the dude.
I'm just wondering. I think that's a relevant
Oh
question.
my gosh!
Hey, he rolled over and took a rage nap.
Can I ask
kind of gentleman is?
Can I ask a very important question?
No.
Yes.
I tried to ride a bike the other day, and how did they know they were drunk? Because they were swerving. Because I was swerving like a champ on that bike. I'm like, whoa.
Okay. All right. Wait.
All right,
you were stone cold sober riding a bike. Okay. If you're drunk riding a bike, you're not riding the bike.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. That makes more sense.
Okay.
All right.
So authorities arrested these two people. They both face charges of resisting arrest with violence.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you gotta love violence.
Committing a lascivious act and exposing sexual organs.
We like to call that indecent exposure in everywhere else in the country.
Right.
I thought Florida allows that.
Let's see. He was patrolling. The officer was
New York
patrolling
City
the beach.
lets you be topless.
Yeah.
The officer was patrolling the beach area when he spotted the cyclist almost get hit by a car.
No.
The arrest report says that after they were put into the squad car to await being taken to jail, they took off their clothes and started having sex. Then the man was removed from the cruiser, but ran away.
Well, what's with these cops letting
He
you
was
get away?
he was later recaptured.
I have friends who.
Was he handcuffed and just flapping?
Running nude?
Dude,
I have friends who are cops.
That would
Once they're in the back of the patrol car, You let them do whatever it is that they're doing that does not distract the driver
Right.
until you get them to their destination.
Right.
But if you take him out once you're at the station and he runs away, that's even funnier.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, I mean, where are you going to go?
All I can imagine at this point is that the dude, like, you know, he puts him in the car, and then he goes to, like, fill out his paperwork or whatever.
Right.
And looks up, goes, oh my God.
He turns around and notices that they're doing the thing
It's like a
in the
Reno
back
911
seat.
event, you know, like,
Like,
no.
Yeah, like they're doing the thing in the back seat, and he just freaks out, and he's like, "Okay, I gotta stop this." So he just opens the back.
Get off! Got a hose.
Yeah,
with no one-
yeah. Like he just opens the door, grabs the dude.
Rolled up newspaper,
Pulls him-
smacking somebody.
Yeah,
Cowboy.
Yeah.
Cowboy.
No.
bad drunkard. No.
There's something in the water in Florida.
Well, we got to stay there, right?
Well, yeah. Okay, guys.
You're just going to Florida.
This
huh?
isn't. We're not going to talk bad about Florida with this one. It's
Yeah, we are.
what we're going to talk about is that people they pay way too much money for wigs.
Oh, yeah.
Plain and simple.
Wigs.
Okay.
Wigs.
It's a lot of work to make a wig.
It doesn't. I don't care.
As Joe rubs the top of his
I'm just saying. I mean, I've seen.
He's got a luscious one at home. He can't wait to put it on.
People spend way too much money on wigs,
Okay.
and that's because I've learned this because police in South Florida say thieves stole up to $80,000 in merchandise from a wig warehouse.
Wow.
Jeez.
$80,000 worth of
probably
wigs.
two wigs.
The
I
owner,
say
I
probably
was curious
fewer
how
than
many
we
wigs
think.
that
the
guy
owner
did,
of Prime Trading Hair and Wigs told detectives in Miami Gardens that he was notified overnight Tuesday that the alarm at the warehouse had been triggered. Owner Rakib Hassan tells Miami television station WFOR that some of the products are worth up to $800 each.
Sure.
Jeez.
Yep.
I say this was
Thieves
probably
appeared to know what they were doing and were in the warehouse for no more than 5 minutes.
Probably one box.
Video
Former
surveillance.
employee, right?
Oh, maybe.
Video surveillance shows a truck backing up and ramming the warehouse's front door 3 times. He's
Knock, knock.
and this is where I'm not worried about any of this other than the fact that it might be an inside job. Joe might be right. It may not be a former employee, but a current employee. Because Hassan says he's not worried because he's insured for the losses.
Oh, so this guy. Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah, but how do you sell
not
these
saying-
black market wigs? Like, is this guy in a trench
The
coat
same-
going in an alley
no, it's
going, hey,
the
look
same
what I
way
got
as the
here?
guy on the street corner in New York who has the knockoff Chanel bags and Gucci products.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
it says Gotchi instead of Gucci, and therefore, you know,
Gotcha.
yeah.
yeah, the U's and O, man.
It's got 3 G's in it. Yeah.
Huh, okay.
Well, let's quit picking on Florida for a minute.
No.
Yeah.
Let's pick on France.
Oh, good. I like
Yeah.
insulting.
France, the Florida of Europe.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's go to Lille in northern France.
Yeah.
That's not a real place.
It is.
Is it Lil? Like,
Lille.
Okay.
Lille.
all right.
And bless their little hearts.
Hang on. Little France.
There we go. But and these poor people looked out the window, looked up to see a full-size, oh my God, Black Panther walking down the gutter on the house.
T'Challa's hanging out in France.
So this was a cosplayer dressed as the Black Panther?
No, this was this was where somebody went. I thought he putty tat.
Like an actual... do we have those in America? Except at a zoo?
this
It's in France, Joe.
I mean, in France. Sorry.
There's a lovely video of a
They don't have
very
those.
large feline. I could just picture me like on the 3rd floor.
Yeah.
Just like where we're sitting right now. We're looking out over. Could you imagine looking out at the other balcony and just going, wow, somebody getting off that elevator's in for a real surprise.
And those French people, they have their balcony doors wide open all the time, right? I mean, they got
yeah.
Please, Joe. They're not third world.
No, I mean that's it's like because of the scenery and
they're
everything.
known for, you know,
The balcony is open, the fresh
and people walk in
Mediterranean
and out,
air,
and
and
they have a
enjoy
guy
the-
throw them a loaf of bread from downstairs and stuff. You know,
it's a
sit
communal.
out there and-
I'm not
Bonjour.
going to say it's communal living, but you know, everybody in the community is just kind of there doing
Right.
their thing.
That's
Right.
how we say hello. Bonjour.
And
Bonjour.
and the weather is gorgeous, so you keep your balcony open
yeah,
until this
about it.
giant cat shows
Well, it
up.
sounds like, Alan, is this one of these where some idiot had a pet Black Panther and it got out?
Well, according to the firefighters and the veterinarian that responded to the scene, they have no idea where this thing came from.
Nobody knows where this
Nobody is reporting missing one.
What happened to my panther? Oh, it is in the balcony. Oh, no.
I would like to go ahead and apologize to
the people of
listeners,
France.
but more apology to our French-Canadian listeners.
Okay, yeah, they're okay. I don't mind that.
So, yeah, kind of important.
Any injuries?
Dude,
No.
seriously, T'Challa was in France and he lost
a pet.
the mascot.
Right. He had his pet. Yeah, exactly.
Well, okay, I'm going to bring it back stateside.
Good.
All right.
That's not any fun.
Well, and this hits very close to home because I have family in Akron, Ohio,
All right.
where this story takes place. Akron, Ohio, where a church sign is going viral for a very tongue-in-cheek response to some thieves. All right.
Oh,
Apparently,
boy.
these thieves stole an air conditioning unit, which we're
From a
like,
church.
From a church. Okay. To quote the
Hey,
sign.
wait, hang on.
I bet it's hot as hell in there.
Boom.
Look,
Wait. Church AC units are like the strongest ones you can
Right.
get.
Yeah. No,
They're ridiculous.
That's true. It's like
I
a meat
understand
locker.
that.
so it's a good set. It's not a good set, but it's a good set.
It's a smart move.
But you stole from a church.
I know.
Hey, somebody stole my truck from a church parking lot. Does that
I
count?
understand.
Hey, listen. The church's response to this was, quote, "Whoever stole the AC unit, keep it. It's hot where you're going." Pastor Gus Brown of Akron Fellowship said the $3,500 air conditioning unit was taken, and they plan on replacing it immediately, but this time installing a little safety protocol.
Also known as a bear trap.
I like that name, Pastor Gus Brown. That guy sounds like he's no nonsense,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
He
man.
sounds
He's
like-
the kind of guy who'll get on top of his church and clean dress like Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Way to go, Akron.
I'm going to say that is the best thing I've heard out of a church since Baptist or Bartlett First Assembly's sign that says his love is greater than the chicken sandwich.
Wow.
Yeah.
Church signs are the best.
Church
sometimes.
signs are some of the
They can be.
greatest
Yeah.
signs out there.
It depends on if they have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Most
okay.
of them around here do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thankfully, Bible Belt.
Well, I
See,
think
my dad's church won't let him write the signs anymore.
Well, no, your dad will get them in trouble. Randy's
yeah.
got a twisted sense of humor.
I know.
Yeah, you got to watch it. So, well, I think we had some pretty good quotes today on Geek Tank Radio, and I think that we were somewhat funny when we didn't go on and on for
Oh, look at Joe.
Oh, look at Joe. He whines
I'm a
about it when
clock
we go
watcher.
on and on, but man, he can talk about Colin Firth for hours
Yeah,
and
the
not get
droner
it.
of fart joke.
Or the Cubs, which literally no one else cares about.
Hey,
Hey.
I care about the Cubs.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we've talked about it. We've done our job, but we're out of here. So until next week, we are the Geek Patrol, and I am Joe Thorderson.
I'm Andy.
I'm Alan.
I'm Brody.
And I am Brandon, reminding you to check in with Conspiracy Nation next season, where I teach you exactly how to get a poor white boy's money out of his pocket.
Hey now.
Wait.
Geek Tank Radio. More below and on 1019kissfm.com. Keyword Geek Tank.